Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Gainesville, meeting at the Cade Museum. If you're watching on YouTube, please register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. If you will, please silence your cell phone and welcome Jeff Sims to the podium for our song and pledge.
Thank you. We're going to sing what I used to call My Country, 'Tis of Thee, but it's called America. So Gordon, maestro. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jeff. And now for our invocation, Lori Vidal.
Thank you. You just like the shirt. I know what that's. Hey, that was a good day, wasn't it? Let's have a prayer together. Let's pray. We are so very thankful to be able to live in such close proximity to the extensive medical facilities in Gainesville that provide numerous options for medical care for all ages. And we're also aware of the intimidation we feel navigating around and in these various huge medical facilities. How especially intimidating it is for children experiencing a hospital or doctor's office, and how crucial it is to maintain the love and support of families, being able to provide the powerful, the strongest medicine of all, a supportive family. Thank you. Thank you for the presence of Ronald McDonald House in North Central Florida and around the country as well, to make it possible for families to be close and available to their loved ones. Truly, it is beneficial to all concerned to have this resource. We ask for your continual blessing and support, Father, for this noble undertaking. And I pray in your comforting name, amen.
Thank you, Lori. You may be seated. If you're a guest or visiting Rotarian, please remain standing to be introduced. TJ will bring the microphone around.
What do I do? Just your name and where you're from. Good afternoon, Cole Barnett from Salter Fiber Law Firm.
Hey y'all, Mary Kay Walker here. This is my friend Pam Pouncey. She is an independent financial advisor and she lives up in Alabama, but she is a Gator fan. Right? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, TJ. And now, joining me at the podium, TJ for an announcement.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. I think is it Thursday, Sherry? September 28th, whatever day that falls on, we're going to be doing a tour of the Ronald McDonald House after hearing this wonderful presentation. That'll be September 28th at 5:30. You'll get the heads up in your email, RSVP there, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thanks, TJ. Next up, Greg Young.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, so Thursday the 28th, the following day, Friday the 29th, is the deadline for nominations for the Service Above Self Award. As you know, we do that very important award every year, and it honors someone here in Alachua County who has done outstanding work and dedication to the community. And I hope you will consider someone that fits that criteria and submit a nomination. I will be sending out an email like I did before that you will get more information about it and also a nomination form. And if you have any questions, please contact me and I will be happy to answer that for you. And unfortunately, I don't see Tom Collette here because I was going to brag on him. I couldn't quite make it to the games on Sunday afternoon, the volleyball game, but I will say Tom did an outstanding job on the play-by-play. But anyway, hope he's on Zoom. Thanks.
Thank you, Greg. And I think that's all the announcements that we have right now. So if you will, please help me welcome our president to the podium, Linda Reinhardt.
Thanks, everybody. So as Greg mentioned, we had a great time at the volleyball match on Sunday. We had almost 90 tickets that were distributed to our Rotarian friends, and we had representation from all the clubs. And Mickey Ulmer came over from Jacksonville and brought his family as well. So again, we had a great time. So we're looking to maybe do some of these type of activities again. If anybody has any requests, that athletics is offered to do it for basketball, for lacrosse, possibly even baseball. So if you guys are interested, let me know and we'll put something else together. With that, I'm going to go straight into our speaker. Our speaker today really needs no introduction. I think she's a friend to most people in this room, or a lot of them. But Sherry has been our outstanding director of our local Ronald McDonald House. And I also have the good fortune to work with her as my partner in crime because she's the president of the Sunrise Rotary Club this year as well. So turn it over to Sherry.
It is so nice to be back with all of you. Oh my gosh, to see your smiling faces and to be with friends, there's nothing like it. When I left my office, I told everyone I'm talking to 100 Rotarians, and everyone in my team knows I'm a Rotarian. They said, "Did your club grow?" I said, "No, I'm speaking to the Tuesday Club." They said, "Oh, wow, that's kind of exciting." I said, "Yes, because they're part of my family." So thank you for welcoming me so well and so warmly. So I'm Sherry Houston, and I've been the CEO of the Ronald McDonald House here in Gainesville for the last 9 years. And we keep families close to their seriously ill child. We have 2 different programs. We have a family room located on the 10th floor of UF Health Shands Children's Hospital, a oasis within the hospital environment. We have a room for families to sleep on a first come, first served basis. We have lots of snacks so families can go in and grab something to eat rather than eating out of a vending machine. We have toys for all the healthy children, and we have a volunteer that welcomes the family to make sure they know how important it is to be there with their child. So I have the honor of having Emily Pridgeon, our Director of Guest and Family Relations, as the manager over our family room. Where I spend most of my time is what was our 31-bedroom house. So now we can, let's see if I'm technological. Ooh, I am. There we go. So wait. Okay, so we, because of all of you, have made more room for families. So what does that really mean? So we have had a 31-bedroom house for 41 years, and we serve families from all over the world because of the preeminent doctors at our children's hospital. The number one diagnosis of a family who comes to us is a family waiting for a heart. I don't know if you've thought about this, but for a heart to go into a child, do you know that a child has to die? Think about that. For your child, your grandchild, your niece to live, another child has to die. So there are lots and lots of emotions with our families at any given time. The second diagnosis is a family who's given birth to a preemie baby. And we have lots and lots of multiple birth babies. In fact, 4 years ago, we had a family and the mom gave birth to quadruplets. Oh my gosh, can you imagine giving birth to 4 babies at one time? But can you, as women, Can you imagine that? So those babies were born a little bit bigger than mommy's hand. And each one of those children did remarkably well. And it's now been right before COVID, the family came back to share with their children, who were 4 at that time, what the Ronald McDonald House meant to them. And it was so fun to see these children run around our house. They were able to see where mom and dad sat down. They were able to see where mom expressed her breast milk, because breast milk is gold to babies who are preemies. And they were able to have cookies made by a volunteer. But the funniest story I want to share with you is I have a picture of those quadruplets in my office, and it's on the bulletin board behind my desk. And so mom and dad and the 4 children come in my office, 3 little boys and 1 little girl. And no surprise, the little girl was incredibly chatty. No surprise, right? And so she looks at my bulletin board and she goes, "You have a picture of me." I said, "I know, you're so famous." And she goes, "Oh." She goes, "I don't have a picture of you. Are you famous?" I said, "No." I said, "But you'll always be famous to me." I said, "Because we were able to keep mommy and daddy close to you while you were growing bigger." And she said, "Well, I guess you are kind of famous in my world." So such out of the mouths of babes, right? The third diagnosis of a family who stays with us is a family whose child is undergoing some type of cancer treatment. And we see those children in 2 different ways. The first way is a family whose child stays with us and is receiving outpatient treatment. And every morning that child will leave with mommy and daddy and go to the hospital, receive whatever treatment they have. Sometimes that treatment takes them down to their very core, and they don't come home for dinner that night. They spend the night. And then in a day or 2, they come back to our house with mommy and daddy and start the whole process all over again. The other families we see are children who are undergoing inpatient cancer treatment, and we never have an opportunity to meet those children, unfortunately. But because we have these remarkable doctors at our children's hospital, the outcomes for those children who are undergoing cancer treatment is really fantastic. So when that family goes home with their child, usually they'll bring that child by so we can see them and love on them a little bit, because we've had the entire family with us. So what makes a Ronald McDonald House so special? It's a camaraderie of people going through what you are going through. So if you're waiting for a heart for your child and you have someone who you sit next to at dinner and you're waiting and they're waiting for a heart for their child, then you can talk together, you can talk about the treatment. And just to have someone understand what you are going through can mean all the difference in the world. Because once again, our families are coming from all over the world to receive first-class medical treatment. So we are an indefinite stay house, which means once you get a room, you keep that room until your child is discharged, either discharged to you or discharged to God. So in the 41 years we have been a Ronald McDonald House, the longest family that has stayed with us is 18 months. So think about this, 18 months. Would you have a job if you were away from your job for 18 months? Would you? Maybe not. But what happens when you don't have a job after 18 months? You don't have health insurance, and you're not able to afford and sustain your family. So the Ronald McDonald House provides such an impactful service to families who only want to be close to their child who is seriously ill. So we realized 7 years ago that being an indefinite stay house, serving families who have a baby in utero all the way up to a child who is 21 years old, was really stretching the limits of a 31-bedroom house. Those 31 rooms didn't turn over very quickly, because remember, the number 1 diagnosis is heart. Remember? Heart. So we started to plan for what would the future look like. And we talked about building on our current property. And we did some soil borings, and we determined that the water table was too high and it wouldn't work. So for a couple of weeks, there was some sadness in my team because we knew we just needed to do better. We were averaging between 100 to 125 families on our wait list. And think about a family on a wait list during football season. You know those families can't stay in those hotels. So where do those families go and what happens to them? So as time would have it, COVID hit, which is not something happy, but in my world, it turned out to be something incredibly positive. In March of 2020, the Hope Lodge closed. They serve families who are an adult undergoing cancer treatment. And we were afforded an opportunity to take a tour of that facility. And the rooms and the bones and everything was just right for our house. So we hired an architect, and then we hired Parrish McCall constructors. And on January the 3rd, we broke walls, let's call it, we didn't break ground, we broke walls, to what is our 50-bedroom guest suite home. Oh my gosh, I just pinch myself every day that I go into this house. And it really was a true labor of love. And I want to recognize one of my board members, and the reason I'm even in this position at the Ronald McDonald House, Susan Crowley, for her outstanding leadership, for standing next to me, inspiring me, and bringing me to this position. Susan, I wouldn't be where I am without you, so thank you. So as it would be, the Ronald McDonald House, the 31-bedroom Ronald McDonald House, sat on state-owned property. Isn't that so funny? Guess what? The Hope Lodge sits on state-owned property. So isn't it incredible that I would have negotiated a lease with the people of the state of Florida for another 40 years and then have the opportunity to do it again? So it was so delightful, so much fun. And when we got our lease, you're not going to believe this, on November 21st, 2022, 11/21/22. What is the address of the new Ronald McDonald House? 2121 Southwest 16th Street. All the 2s and 1s. Isn't that incredible? Like it was all meant to be. So when we broke ground or broke walls with Parrish McCall constructors, we knew we had to start at lightning speed because there were families who really needed our help. So we cut the ribbon on August 24th of this year, 8 months, less than a gestational period of a child, and we moved families in our new home on August 28th. So now let me share some cool photos. So we went from a 31-bedroom house, 22,000 square feet, to 45,000 square feet, 50 guest suites. And the guest suites are so important. So think about this. The average length of stay is over 3 months at our house. So in our old house, you had one bed and another bed next to you. So it was you and your loved one, and then you have your child next to you, or heaven forbid, you have your mom and dad next to you. That's really good for your marriage, don't you think, when they come to visit you and you're sleeping next to your spouse and your in-laws, right? No, it's not. So to have, oh my goodness, guys, come on. So as it, in our new house, we have an area where you have a fold-out couch, there's a TV, a place for you to sit and to relax, and then you actually have a sleeping area. The other great amenities that we have is when you first walk in, there is a huge living room area. And this is a picture of the living room. Place for families to relax. And I also want to call out Mary Kate Walker, because it's because of Walker Furniture that we were able to furnish our entire house with brand new furniture. And to go to another Rotarian and to sit before her and say, I have a budget of this. Can you make this dream a reality? And she never said no. She said absolutely, and spent hours working with us on designs for our house. So this is the living room area. We do activities, fun activities for families. Families wait for the tram. This is a big wide-eye view of walking into our facility with, once again, the right-hand side is where we have our living room area. And then you're looking into the dining room and the visiting chef kitchen. We have an indoor playroom. You know, it's really hot in Florida, and families bring their little children with them, and their little children have no place to go. And so to have an indoor playroom that was furnished by Cedarville Global Community School. So those of you who know Debbie Kinman Ford, please thank her, because Debbie and her teachers outfitted this entire playroom. So it is fun, it's inviting, with some of the best books out there that will really entertain children. This is our dining room area. What makes this dining room so important is the chairs and tables which we received from Mary Kate Walker at Walker Furniture are modular. So think about this. You have a child who has received a heart, and you are with your loved one and you want to celebrate with other families. You were able to pull the tables together and celebrate. Or your child didn't get a heart because your child spiked a fever, and you and your loved one just want to sit by yourselves because you are so incredibly sad because you've been waiting for months for that heart. You're able to pull one of those tables aside and still have dinner, but be able to be by yourselves and have a more intimate setting. This is our suites and this is our visiting chef kitchen. So you can come and volunteer and cook for our families. You don't have to be a professional chef. You just need to bring the ingredients. You cook for about 100 people, because when you cook in our house, you truly make our house a home. We have gas appliances, we have a convection oven, and you can meet firsthand the families who are going through so very much from all over the world. So you would be cooking in this kitchen. And once again, we are always looking for visiting chefs. Just like you like to eat dinner every night, our families like to eat dinner every night too. Our families have cubbies, and I know you might think this is a really silly picture, but those of you who were at our old house, the cubbies were in the island area. So think about this. You have been a mom who's given birth to twins, and you had a C-section. Those of you who have had a C-section, you know you can't bend over. So these cubbies are within eye level that a family just has to pull and not bend down, because it was so disrespectful for a mom to have to ask someone from my team to get in to get her cereal or get her nuts or get her something else because she was unable to bend down to reach her cubby. So these cubbies on the walls just revolutionized the way we're able to serve families. Oh my gosh, we have a butterfly garden. So that is actually AstroTurf. Oh my gosh, AstroTurf. I didn't even know that we could even afford that. This entire butterfly garden was donated by Belgrade, along with Jim Fleming, and some of you may know Jim. He owns a landscape company. He has donated all of the, I would call them mature plants, and then Bryce Berger put all of those plants into the ground, because you just don't want any person putting things in the ground or they probably wouldn't survive. At the end of that butterfly garden, which is actually maintained by the Sunrise Rotary Club, we have a beautiful play structure, which we brought from our old house, along with a gazebo where families are able to go out and just relax. And now is kind of the time where families can enjoy it because the weather's getting a little bit cooler. We also have a sweets and treats kitchen. So this kitchen, which was a gift from UF Health, provides us with an intimate setting for families to cook for themselves at night and be able to eat in this kitchen. You can see the tables behind. But the other thing is that during the day, we love to bring groups in to make cookies, to make brownies. Do you know that slice and bake brownies smell the same as your grandmother's recipe of Toll House cookies? So you can just fake our families out and just make slice and bake cookies and make our house smell like a home. And we try to bring a group in every single day to make something yummy for our families. We have a laundry room that's open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And you will notice that we don't ask our families for any money to put their clothes in the dryer or in the washer. We provide all the laundry detergent, all the dryer sheets. So if you came home at 2 o'clock in the morning because the PICC line was removed from your child and you had blood on your dress, you could throw your dress in the washer. You could grab a piece of meatloaf that was made that evening by the visiting chef and be able to just relax until your clothes are clean and then start the day all over again. We have a gym. Oh my gosh. So I am a big Pelotoner. I Peloton every single day. And so we got a Peloton donated, which is so cool. And our families are able to relax and enjoy themselves in the gym. Just to burn off a little bit of steam makes all the difference in the lives of our families. And then we have 2 hospitality stations. And these stations are really important. There's one in the front of the house, which is off of the kitchen, off of the, where our family, off of the living room area. And this is in the back of the house by the 2-story addition. And families are able to grab a cup of coffee, grab a juice box for their child, grab a Pop-Tart, I know that's not very healthy, or a bagel, and they don't have to go into the kitchen to grab something to eat. But we also have razors, and we have shaving cream, and we have toothbrushes. So you're able to grab some toiletries and take them back to your room and do it in a little bit more private setting. We have a family lounge upstairs on the 2nd floor of Wing 4, a place to congregate, to relax, to watch TV, and just journal, to get yourselves out of your room. Because what happens? The magic of a Ronald McDonald House is associating yourself with other families going through exactly what you are going through. So these are the guest suites. So this is one of the fold-out couches that Mary Kate Walker had custom designed for us by a group in Ocala, and it folds out beautifully. We have a TV and a little end table, and then in the bedroom area, we have 2 beds and a fully remodeled bathroom that was remodeled by Quality Plumbing, Quality Design Works. And I think most of you know that Brian Nasworth is, he's a Service Above Self winner, if I'm saying that properly. And he has renovated all the bathrooms in our old house, and he renovated all the bathrooms in our new house, all 50 bathrooms. So I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to tell you a story. You're supposed to laugh at that. My husband laughs when I take a breath at night. I'm going to tell you a story about this little girl. Her name is Natasha, and her mom and dad were on a baby moo, I think is what it's called nowadays. So her mom and dad are from Connecticut, first-time baby, and they were vacationing in Orlando, and mom had, her water started to leak. Then she went into early labor. And so Natasha was born at a little over 1.5 pounds. So when you looked at what Natasha looked like, she looked like a little rat or a little gerbil. She wasn't even able to be touched by her mom and dad when she was first born. And that picture was taken. She is a little over 2.5 pounds. You can see her eyes are still, her eyebrows are still trying to form. That family has been with us for over 4 months. And while we were in construction of our new house from July 7th through the 28th of August, they were at the Home 2 Suites because we negotiated a wonderful deal for our families to stay in the Home 2 Suites for free while we were renovating the last part of our house. So we anticipate that little Natasha is going to go home to her mom, with her mom and dad to Connecticut, we hope before Christmas. And she'll be able to see her aunts and her uncles and her grandparents. So ask me some questions. You can try to stump me. I'm not nervous. It's okay.
Wonderful talk. How many other states or communities enjoy a Ronald McDonald House?
Fabulous question. So we are an international organization. There are over 368 Ronald McDonald houses internationally. In the state of Florida, there is a house in Jacksonville, Gainesville, Tallahassee, and Pensacola, 4 houses in Tampa, 3 in Orlando, 1 in Fort Myers, and 1 in Miami. But we are our own separate 501c3. So when you give to our house, all that money stays at our local Ronald McDonald House. Great question.
Sherry, thank you so much. Great organization. I don't know if there's a dry eye in the house. Were you able to retain your old house, or are you giving that? You're not. Okay. I was just saying with that need, it would be beautiful, but
it would have been wonderful. However, I think a 50-bedroom, 45,000 square foot house with a budget of about 1.7 million, it's good to kind of shake all that out. There are some plans to expand by another 30 rooms. The need is so great at our children's hospital. We need to make sure that we are sustainable. And I guess we probably need to talk about the elephant in the room. And Kirk, I'll get you. I love you, so don't worry, I won't forget you. But the elephant in the room is McDonald's. So we have a great partnership with McDonald's, but we were never built on the fact that McDonald's would fund us 100%. So 18% of our operating budget actually comes from McDonald's. So it takes our community and people like you to wrap your arms around us.
Great presentation. So what are your biggest needs right now?
We have a very vibrant wish list. So anything on our wish list, also come and cook in our house. During construction from July to August, we didn't have any visiting chefs because all of our families were in the hotel. So come and cook in our house. Come and make sweets and treats and make our families feel loved and special.
How can we make arrangements to do that, to be a visiting chef? What is the process?
Well, you can ask me. I can make it happen on my phone before you leave. But you can also go to our website, and the website is on the propaganda I left on your table. And you can look at volunteering, and you can pull down either visiting chef or sweets and treats. And then you, as a visiting chef, you provide all of the ingredients, you determine your menu, and then we have all the cups and all the saucers and all the plates, and we have all of the sheet pans and things like that. So you don't have to bring any of those things. If there's a certain kind of knife you like to use to chop things up, by all means bring that and you can take it home. Or if there's a certain kind of pan you like to make your cornbread in, you can bring that cast iron pan. But we pretty much have all the comforts of home, in addition to crock pots and Instapots and lots of microwaves.
Sherry, I know that on each bed there's like either a bear or stuffed animal. Do you need supplies of those constantly? Do you ever run out? Because I've noticed that, and I was like, it would be so sad for somebody to not get a little stuffed animal.
Mary Kate, yes, we do run out, and that is something that most Ronald McDonald houses provide to their families. So when a family arrives, the bedroom is all made up for them, and we have a stuffed animal. Usually we try to have a bear on the bed with a little locket that says, "Welcome to the Ronald McDonald House." Families traditionally will either give that bear to the child who is in tow with them. If it's a first-time child or an only child, they take it to the hospital, and then surprisingly or not surprisingly, if that child passes, that's the only thing that family has that has the scent of their child. So those stuffed animals go such a long way. And you can always drop them off at our house. We're open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And those are really important items in our house. Thank you for reminding me.
Sherry, it's amazing to have you be the speaker today. Ben and I were driving down here and we were talking about various organizations, and I mentioned, yeah, and there's the Ronald McDonald House that I had tried to do some architecture with. Anyway, what's going to happen with the old house?
It's actually reverted back to the state of Florida. So we turned it back to UF, who then takes it back to the state, and they're deciding what they're planning on doing. I really don't have any idea. And it's been very interesting because people have danced around they said, there is the D word out there. I'm like, okay, what would the D word be? Demolition? I'm like, oh, okay. They go, you okay if we demolish this building? Yes, I have a 45,000 square foot house and I'm going to serve 50 families. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I didn't say that to them, but I don't know what's going to happen. But the bones are really good at our old house. So Trevor Schneider's the person you'll want to reach out to at UF Real Estate. And I know that he's trying to figure out what he's planning on doing.
We have a Zoom question, Sherry, from Kathy Pierce. She says, I heard Hope Lodge and water table too high. Where is the new house located?
We're in the old Hope Lodge building. So we took down walls, and if you remember when you first walked in, there was that big reception area, and now we just blew that out so you can see into the dining room. So we're in the building that the old Hope Lodge was.
Thank you.
And I don't know where the Hope Lodge went. People ask me that too. I'm not really sure. Well, thank you so much. If you have questions and you're too shy to ask, you know how much I love to talk. I'm happy to talk to you after the meeting. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share our mission with you.
All right, well, first of all, I have to thank Wilbur for fixing our bell, so we have our bell back. Great. And if anybody wants to, if we want to try to put together a group to do a visiting chef Rotary event, I would be all for that. So just if somebody wants to take that on, coordinating, I'm sure DJ would appreciate the help with coordinating that, and we can make that happen. Okay, with that, let's see, where am I supposed to tell you guys next? Oh, so next week's speaker is Stephanie Marcham with the Florida Bar, and she's going to talk about how the Florida Bar protects and serves the public. Our quote of the day: if you think you are too small to be effective, you have never been in bed with a mosquito. That's Betsy Reese. And thank you to Colleen, that was a great one. Drawing, we have for our Rotary Reading Safari, 115. 115, do we have a winner? If not, we do have a little bit more time. Feel free to hang out and enjoy some fellowship, but otherwise, meeting adjourned.